There are some culinary basics that, once learned, will instantly make you a better cook. They're the kind of techniques that are the first lessons in culinary school because they are fundamental to good cooking and foundational to myriad recipes. One of these is bechamel, a sauce that's so important that it is among the 5 mother sauces. Learn this one and you'll be whipping up cheese sauce from scratch in just minutes. And here's the best news. While this classic French white sauce might sound difficult or time-consuming, it's neither. After watching this video, you're gonna be a bechamel making beast. Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and this channel is all about helping you be a better cook. And boy, are you gonna be a better cook after watching this video because we are doing bechamel. Now, I really think this was, if memory serves, this was like one of the first lessons in culinary school. Again, this is a very basic sauce, but it's wonderful and it serves a lot of different purposes. And well, it's really simple. All it takes is about 10 minutes to make and 3 ingredients: butter, flour, and milk. Optional but recommended is some salt, white pepper, and some nutmeg. Just trust me on that last one. Now, as I said in that intro, bechamel is one of the mother sauces from which other sauces are made. If you've ever had homemade macaroni and cheese, well, it began with a bechamel sauce to make that cheese sauce. But even as a sauce unto itself, bechamel is great. You can ladle it over steamed vegetables that even fussy kids will eat. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can creton the sauce under a broiler to give it a nice browning effect. That way it gets bubbly, hot, and delicious. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Today, I'm going to show you how to make just a basic bechamel, and it's going to be delicious. Now, some of you might know that I'm gluten-free, and you can easily make a gluten-free bechamel sauce. In fact, that's what we're going to do today. I just use a gluten-free flour in place of the standard flour. But of course, if you're not gluten-free, just use regular flour to make the roux. As far as equipment, it's really simple. All you need is a nice, sturdy pot. I advise using stainless steel for this because we are going to be whisking it and you want that to be safe on the interior. You can use nonstick if you want, but make sure you have a rubber whisk or a wooden spoon so you don't damage the inside. Okay, let's make some bechamel. Okay, I've got my pot heating over medium here. We're just going to dump our butter in. I'm just using 2 tablespoons of butter. This is going to yield about a cup, maybe a little bit more of sauce. So for this, we are going to use a ratio of 2 tablespoons of butter to 2 tablespoons of flour. So this is just called making a roux. And I think when I started this channel like 3 years ago, I did like how to make roux, but just consider this a remedial lesson in how to make roux. So we're just going to melt our butter, and once our butter is nice and melted and just kind of sizzling, then we will add the flour. Okay, that only took a couple of minutes, so our butter is nice and melted, it's sizzling. Now I'm going to dump in the flour, and now all we're going to do is whisk this flour in, and we are creating a roux. Now a roux is a thickening agent, so this is what's going to be responsible for making that sauce nice and thick, giving that nice unctuousness in the mouth. So we are just going to stir this in, and we're making what's called a blonde roux. And well, that's exactly what it sounds like. It's just kind of blonde, kind of sandy in color, and kind of sandy in texture for that matter too. So you're going to smell this, and it's going to smell really nice in your kitchen. It's going to smell kind of nutty, and that's exactly what you want. Now, there are other applications for making a darker roux, but this isn't one of them. Okay, so that only took about a minute. Now we are going to kill the heat, and we are going to slowly whisk in the milk, just like this. Whisking, whisking, whisking. Just like that. Okay, now we're gonna turn that heat back to medium, about medium, medium-low, and we are just going to whisk until this thickens up. And well, this is essentially it. This is how you make bechamel. But we're gonna add a couple things to it to make it nice and really flavorful. So we're gonna add a little bit of salt, just like this. We're gonna add a little bit of white pepper. You could use black pepper for this as well, but obviously if you use black pepper, you're gonna have those black specks, and well, that doesn't look very good visually. So this is an application where white pepper is really, really great. I did a whole video on black pepper versus white pepper. I'll put a link to that in the description below. It'll give you more insight into that, but this is a great application for it. So we're just kind of whisking this, and once that milk comes up to temperature, once it starts to simmer, well, that's where that roux is going to transform that milk into this nice velvety sauce. Now, one other thing we're going to add is a little bit of nutmeg, just a pinch. I've just got some ground nutmeg here, and this might sound kind of odd, but this is a classic bechamel ingredient, is just a little bit of nutmeg. And I don't know, it gives it such a nice flavor. So here we go. We're gonna turn the heat down just a bit, and you can see this is coming together really, really nice. This is starting to thicken up, it's starting to bubble, and all you need to do is cook this for about another minute or two until all of that flour taste is gone, and you're just left with a nice, wonderful sauce. But this is it, my friends. This is Bechamel 101. Okay, so we've cooked this over low for just a couple of minutes, and two things to know about bechamel that'll let you know when it's done. First, you want it to just kind of stick to the back of a spoon. So we're going to just do this, and this is exactly what we learned in culinary school. You want it to just kind of coat the back of that spoon, and then just give it a taste. And this is just such a wonderful sauce. It's got a nice velvetiness to it. It's got a nice creaminess to it. And if you've ever had chicken pot pie or a lasagna, well, that wonderful creamy white sauce, that's bechamel. So we're just gonna kill the heat, and we've made our sauce. Now, if you want to make a cheese sauce out of this, like a Mornay sauce with some Gruyere cheese or a basic cheddar sauce, well, it couldn't be easier. All you do is just put some shredded cheese in, anywhere from a quarter of a cup to a full cup, depending on how much you want, and boom, you've just made cheese sauce. That's why it's called the mother sauce, is because with this, you can go in many different directions. You can have many wonderful sauce children. Now here's one way I like to serve it. I've got a big plate of some freshly steamed broccoli, and what we're gonna do is we're just going to ladle this sauce right over the top. Just smother this broccoli in this wonderful sauce. And then take a look at this. We've got a steaming plate of broccoli just slathered in this beautiful bechamel sauce. And tell me your kids aren't gonna eat this. So that is how to make a very basic bechamel. Now, this is gonna be good for about 1 or 2 servings, and this recipe is easily doubled. So if you wanna make twice as much, just use twice as much of each ingredient. So we would use 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of flour, and 2 cups of milk, and so on and so forth. I hope you give this a try, experiment, and then after you've become a master of this mother sauce, make some other sauces with it, like a beautiful cheddar sauce. Okay, trivia time. Last week I asked you to identify this crazy looking device with these sharp edges, and y'all are so smart. I mean, many of you got this right off the bat. This is indeed a pineapple cutter and core, and the way it works is you just plunge this sucker down into the pineapple, you twist it, and what that's going to do is both help separate the fruit from the skin and also get that core out. So this is indeed a pineapple core. Okay, for this week's kitchen tool trivia, I've got to be a little discreet on how I hold this so it doesn't give it away. But what is this thing? If you know what this is, or if you have a guess, Put it in the comments below and I will let you know the correct answer next week. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Until next time, happy cooking.